Hi, welcome once again to this week's edition of Premium Times Weekly Podcast. I'm your host, Titilope Fadari. If you are a Nigerian university student, I think you may have to get ready for a possible showdown between ASUU and the Nigerian government. As a varsity student, staying at home for about a year or more before graduating from a 4-year degree program is normal. At least that's what we've seen since 1999. During the week, the Academic Staff Union of Universities hinted at the possibility of an impending industrial action. The union directed its members to declare lecture-free day on Monday to sensitize the public on its demands that the Nigerian government failed to meet. Whenever you hear statements like this, you should know it's about time. ASUU national leadership said the Nigerian government has partially implemented 2 of its 8 demands. But this is not good news until there is a full and proper implementation of their 2009 agreements with the federal government, as well as the various memoranda of terms of settlements. Then we can be sure we will not be stricken by their strikes for long. Meanwhile, it appears that ASUU is not alone in this struggle. Hundreds of young Nigerians, including journalists and student activists, have risen in solidarity with the union. They blame the Nigerian government for allegedly neglecting the nation's education sector to degenerate. Aha, comrades, you people should off your mic now. So the youth said ASUU's strive towards repositioning the nation's university system is in the interest of all Nigerians. On his part, President Muhammadu Buhari has thrown some light that the impending industrial action by ASUU will be averted. The president promised that the federal government would honor promises made to ASUU. Mr. Buhari told religious leaders that he would prevent disruptive strikes and improve funding of education institutions. ASUU had told the president that his promises had no weight before them again. Meanwhile, analysts also estimate that since 2015, the average Nigerian student spends more leisure time due to constant strikes than the president had spent in the United Kingdom. Alright, so talking about UK, by the way, more than 70,000 Nigerians have signed a petition calling on the United Kingdom to either remove Nigeria from the list of countries whose citizens are required to take IELTS tests or reduce the fees charged for the examination. It's part of the tradition that some Nigerians willing to relocate to the UK for work or study opportunities must take the International English Language Testing System tests. But Nigerians are now saying that the continuous request of an English proficiency test is simply a way of swindling the citizens of their money by the UK authorities. Why should proficiency tests be renewed after 2 years? And why does it have to cost 3 times our national minimum wage? Nigerians asked the UK president. It appears that we have kept aside our attitude that Oyinbo is always right though. Remember they said anything that gives us new knowledge gives us the opportunity to be more rational. As always, this edition was written by Kabir Yusuf and I am Titilope Fadari. Do not forget, if you like this podcast, please share and favorite. Also visit www.premiumtimesng.com to catch the latest edition of this podcast series. Thank you and see you next week.
Hi there, it's good to be back with a new edition of Premium Times Weekly Podcasts. I'm your host, Titilope Fadari. It's been a long break and have missed you so much. I just couldn't stay away. But I'm back with something important and let's discuss. If we are being honest, Nigeria's security situation is not getting any better. In January, over 500 citizens were killed by non-state actors. And this came a few weeks after President Muhammadu Buhari had preached more commitment to protect all Nigerians from all forms of aggression. We are not happy with the current state of affairs under his watch. And the president asked us, especially the youth, to behave ourselves that the nation is still more secure under him than that of his predecessor, Goodluck Jonathan. So, among all his mouthpieces, nobody can advise the president to act and stop making these comparisons? Well, while the president's best is not enough, state governors still relied on him for help. Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello said on national television that 7 local governments in his state are under siege by bandits. In Kaduna, more than 3,000 people were kidnapped in the previous year by bandits. I prefer calling them terrorists as the courts declare them. Now, State Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna had maintained that these bandits or terrorists do not deserve to live or be granted amnesty. And now, to address the insecurity in Niger and Kaduna states, the governor appealed to the federal government to establish a military theater command in the states like that of the Northeast. Will the federal government respond to his appeal? Well, we shall see. Patience may not be one of the qualities of Babagana Zulum, the governor of Borno State, in getting things done. But last week, he went to ASUU Villa and asked the federal government to seek help and hire foreign mercenaries to fight the insurgency. And there is nothing wrong with that, Zulum told the Nigerian government. But are they going to listen? Well, before now, the commander-in-chief had said they would not hire mercenaries to fight insurgency. The president said he is a former military officer and he believes in the Nigerian army. But whether we like it or not, we cannot fight this insurgency without external support, Zulum told the president. Is that a good idea? Will the federal government change its position? Again, we shall see. Now, did I tell you something? Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information, this time, he's back with some wonderful news. He said the government has uncovered 96 financiers of terrorism. Who are these people? Let's see their faces. Some Nigerians begged Lai. The minister only told them that the suspects will soon face prosecution and seizure of assets. A former commissioner of police, Emmanuel Ojukwu, was quick to say we should forget Lai Mohammed because the government officials have compromised the prosecution of terrorists in the country. Is this saying something we don't know? Anyway, let me keep my mouth shut before I turn Sabinus. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and it was written by Kabir Yusuf. I am Titi Lokwe Fadari. Please come again next week, and do not forget, if you like this podcast, please share and favorite, and also visit www.premiumtimes.ng to catch the latest edition of this podcast series.
Hi, and welcome back to Premium Times Weekly Podcast. Titi Lokwe Fadari is your host. The fuel scarcity across the country bites harder this week. As it is now, you either sacrifice time to join a long queue, or you may have to spend thrice the normal amount to get fuel in black markets. For more than 2 weeks, limited supply and importation of bad fuel has caused long queues at petroleum stations across Nigeria. Regulators have confirmed the importation of low standard petrol in the supply chain. So many fuel stations have run out of fuel as the government tries to retrieve the dirty fuel and distribute cleaner volumes. NNPC had accused 4 oil companies of importing substandard petrol, but the accused companies are not taking liability when they wrote a statement to deny the allegations. The question now is, who we could blame? As the situation worsened, NNPC reassured Nigerians that it had put adequate measures in place to accelerate the nationwide distribution of fuel. The NNPC told Nigerians The NNPC told Nigerians it has over 1 billion litres of certified PMS stock that is safe for use in vehicles and machinery. Then, why are we still suffering? Nigerians asked the authorities. Many of us have damaged our engines, the citizens told NNPC. They are obviously angry. And to ease their anger, NNPC had commenced 24-hour operations at its main depot and retail outlets across the country. Over 2.3 billion litres of PMS is scheduled for delivery between now and the end of February 2022, the NNPC said. The company had placed significant orders of over 2.1 billion litres of methanol-free petroleum to ensure that the long queues of petroleum end in a few days. And that's good news. That's good news, and that's what Nigerians want. In other good news, the petroleum tanker drivers and the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners have suspended their plan to embark on strike. The tanker drivers had last week threatened to stop work nationwide if the Nigerian government does not immediately rehabilitate 21 major roads. That would have been a double whammy. Meanwhile, in all of these, President Muhammadu Buhari, who doubles as Minister of Petroleum, has not said anything yet. The president is in Belgium chilling with Europe's big boys. So it remains to be seen whether we will hear from him when he's back this weekend. As always, this edition was written by Kabir Yusuf. I am Titi Lokwe Fadari. See you next week, and please do not forget, if you like this podcast, kindly share and favorite, and also visit www.premiumtimesng.com to catch the latest edition of this podcast series.